All right, welcome everybody to Now You Know Movie Show, where we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4. All right, everybody, you can see we're down to our limited summer staff here.
Yes, our infantry's been depleted by Dragonfire, and we're in rough shape.
Yeah, Bobby is
People
recovering
to dust.
from his burns that he got in the Dragon War.
Exactly.
I think he was fighting bats, though. I think he was a little confused.
It could have been bats.
Maybe, yeah.
We should just get a read on, so Bobby is away, but he did slack in this morning. He said, my take on the episode, best so far this season, a slow start, but the end was amazing.
Amazing. Classic Bobby typo. We love it.
And he gives
We love you, Bobby. Have fun in Florida.
He gives it a thumbs up and, I'm sorry, fire and a dragon.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a bat. He typed a bat emoji.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
And our Angry Giant also entered in the discussion, and he said that episode was lit.
So lit.
Of course, there was a pun in there.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
So I guess our first question has to go to Nick, because he is our expert on all things Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
And so why didn't Daenerys use her dragons, Nick?
She didn't want to put them in harm's way.
She did use her dragons, Nick.
Nick.
Off with your head.
Failed again.
That was a trick question.
Yeah.
Why do you think everyone was talking about dragons and their emojis?
Well, I just kind of assumed there were more than one set of dragons. I don't know.
That turns out a Cersei's secret weapon the whole time. She had some dragons too. Like, wait, what?
Just wait, that comes later in the season.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's gonna be the twist ending in episode 7, the finale. More
Spoiler
dragons.
alert.
Spoiler alert. More dragons.
So Daenerys, she asked Jon Snow for his advice. Didn't seem like she liked his advice, which was, tread lightly, don't burn all of your people because they'll hate you. But then they went in a different way, which I thought was kind of interesting, because I was just thinking her only option with using the dragons was to go to
King's Landing
and use it.
Go right after Cersei.
She decided to go after the retreating army that was bringing the gold back to the landing there.
Yep.
Pretty smart. I don't know if she burned all the gold and all the food.
Well, I don't think they were actually bringing the food back yet, because there was that one moment before they heard the Dothraki horde coming over the hill where Randall Tarly was talking to Jaime, and we're like, should we swing back to go back to get the food now, or should we continue on? And they had a little conversation there, and it seemed like they were getting ready to head back and start grabbing some of that. So I think it was just the gold that just got lit up by the dragons.
Gold I guess, just melt into lumps.
Yeah. I mean, when you have dragons, you don't need to buy stuff, You can just get what you want.
So does this mean the gold isn't going to... Because there was a scene with the Iron Bank.
Yep.
And he's like, everything's cool as long as the gold gets back.
Yes.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yes.
And then she's like, oh, of course, the gold will be here any day.
Yeah.
And then...
Foreshadow alert. Foreshadow alert. It's not.
Don't count your gold, Nick, until it's in the treasury.
Yeah, exactly.
So
not
that means...
looking good for Cersei there.
Yeah, Iron Bank is, I guess, going to have to recall...
Exactly. Mycroft there from Sherlock.
From Sherlock, yeah.
It just occurred to me today that's who that was. But yeah, he's probably going to be looking to collect on some of those debts, and they're not going to be able to pay up.
No. So a big change of fortune in this episode. Everyone seems very happy with the battle.
Yep.
We get to see a dragon in action.
Wow, that was
just one dragon.
That was just one dragon. I mean, that was the main dragon. That was Drogon. He's the big boy. But just one dragon. Oh my God, the Lannisters didn't even stand a chance. They were getting destroyed.
Nick,
it was not even close.
What do you think about the injury to the dragon?
I think it was somewhat disappointing.
Yeah. How come?
Because it didn't kill the dragon, because it was just an injury.
Wow.
The dragon killer machine didn't work.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it could. It was close. I was, for a moment there, like, wow, these guys they're going to kill the main dragon right here. That was just a ballsy move if they were to do that, but they just went for the injury, which I was kind of happy about. I didn't want to see Drogon die, but...
Talk about ballsy. She jumps off her dragon and starts to pull the spear out of his throat.
And it was in there pretty good.
Yeah.
She couldn't get it out.
And at just the last second, you think maybe she's going to get it from Jaime Lannister.
Oof.
And I don't know if he survived either. I mean, you're wearing full chainmail and you fall into a lake.
Yeah, they left it kind of open-ended there. You just see him kind of sinking into the darkness of the water. And
who saved him at the last second?
I think that was Bronn, the guy, the kind of hired sword hand who's kind of with him, kind of long hair guy. The one who shot the dragon with the scorpion, as they called it.
He deserves a medal.
Yeah. I thought he was about to eat it too, and
Yeah.
the dragon just like lit up the scorpion after it got hit. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of moments in this episode where I was like, it was kind of a weird thing for me because like on the one hand, like you're kind of rooting for Daenerys and her army to win, but at the same time, you don't want to see Jaime or Bronn die. Personally, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready to see these characters die yet.
I know what you mean.
You know, it's kind of this like weird gray area where like, who am I actually rooting for here? You know?
I know it is weird because I mean, Jaime is not the easiest guy to root for.
No, but he's also he's come around a lot from where he started.
True.
And I also feel like it would be a weird way for his storyline to resolve. Yeah, I always felt like somehow his storyline was going to intertwine with the ending of Cersei's storyline or Tyrion somehow. Like they're all going to come together in
Right.
the end and there would be some good showdown there because I don't know. It just seems like Jaime's been getting pushed and pushed and pushed by Cersei the more and more crazy stuff she does. And I feel like at some point he was going to reach a breaking point with her and there would be some sort of split there. Or maybe even he would be the one who finishes Cersei in the end.
Ooh.
But I don't know. Maybe that's not going to happen now. Maybe this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back with Cersei. Even though it seems like she's already kind of gone off the deep end a little bit, maybe this will push her even further.
Do you think that Jaime is going to be lost for a few episodes as he's at the bottom of the lake? I mean, I assume he's going to get out from under the bottom.
I feel like
How is he going to get out of the lake,
Yeah.
Nick?
Nick, what do
I
you
think he's gonna since he's so heavy, he's gonna walk on the bottom and he's gonna walk out.
Okay, there we go. Cool. Like
out of
Super
the
Mario
lake.
style, sure.
Yeah.
All right, I like
Maybe
it.
the dragon will drink the lake and
Yes.
empty it.
Or like light it on fire and evaporate all the water and he'll run away. I don't know.
So,
But
do you-
realistically, I think Bronn will probably save him, the one who tackled him out of the way of the fire. So
Even though he didn't get his castle.
it's true. And now he doesn't have his gold either. So
That's true.
He's
lost
got
his
less
gold.
incentive, but I don't know. He saved him to begin with.
seems
So
loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little more loyal than he lets on.
I'd like a guy like that by my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Loyal.
survivor, that's for sure.
Whether you give him his castle or not.
Yeah.
Do you need a castle, Nick?
I don't think I need a castle. A mansion would be cool.
A mansion would be cool. Somewhere in between.
All right, let's talk about when Jon Snow and Daenerys are in the cave together.
Yeah.
So Jon brings Daenerys into the Dragonstone cave where he shows her these pictures
Yep.
that were drawn long time ago by the
Yes.
first men and the children of the forest.
Yes, you got it. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I've watched it and I can't remember.
You got it. You got it.
And what did this show us, Nick, about the first men and the children of the forest? What were these drawings of?
Slavery. They enslaved the children of the forest.
I don't know. I think the way John was interpreting it was they were working together
Yeah.
to fight who?
The dragons?
No, Nick. God, you don't do your homework, do you?
Yeah. Did you even watch this episode?
It was a rough night.
To fight the
The White Walkers.
White Walkers
Yeah.
and the Night King.
That was my second choice.
How'd you feel about this particular scene?
Well, I was the whole time a little bit like, are they going to kiss? Because
There was a little bit of that.
It was like a dark cave.
There was some tension there.
and she kept turning to him with
and
looks
getting
of
closer.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa,
And I was like,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
wait, what?
Maybe
She's just
Bran
waiting
needs
for
to
him.
get down there. Let him know. No, that's your aunt. That's your aunt. Don't do it.
Other thing I just want to point out, if you're guarding a queen and
Yeah.
she says, it's okay, I got this, I'm going to go into the cave with this stranger guy.
Yeah.
Go
Maybe
with her.
Maybe don't listen.
I mean, I was just like, he's bringing you into this cave, and no Dothraki guards? That's
Yeah.
weird. No.
Yeah. I like this scene up until we see the White Walker carvings on the wall. That felt just a little too convenient.
Yeah.
I almost felt like Jon Snow went in there himself and
did.
drew him on there. Like,
Yeah.
look, White Walkers, see?
It did look like an 8-year-old's drawing of White Walkers.
It was
yeah.
a little too convenient, but I mean,
Although I guess these were the children of the forest who drew
true.
these.
Like I was all right with it when it showed all like the symbology and stuff,
Right.
all the different like spiral, because we've seen that a bunch
Right.
throughout the show. But then when we have these kind of like with that like actual faces of some of the White Walkers that we've seen before, I'm like, this feels a little too on the nose.
She turns to him, and it's almost like she's gonna go, "Did you draw that?" Like she gives him this look, and maybe it's done on purpose so that you don't know
Yeah.
what she's feeling. But I was almost like, she's like, "What?
Yeah.
These are the White Walkers?
Yeah,
Why haven't
yeah.
I heard of this before? Why hasn't she heard of this before? Why wasn't the first thing you do when you go to Dragonstone is go tour your caverns of Dragonglass?
Yeah, I know. It feels like, I mean, they've been there for a while at this point,
Yeah.
you know. I mean,
Take some
it showed-
Polaroids.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, send someone in there to like take notes,
Yeah.
write the histories down and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it it seems like a little bit of a shortcut there to kind of just get them on the same side. But, you know, even then, at the end of that scene, they're still not completely there yet because she's still asking him to bend the knee.
Yeah, she's like, I'll fight for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And then she's like, go to bend the knee. And I'm like, John, just do it. God damn it. Bend the knee. And I don't know. It seems like he might, actually.
Yeah.
He didn't say no.
I think they're going to get there at some point.
I think so,
But
too.
then they also kind of seemed like they were setting up maybe that they'll make an alliance through marrying, maybe, a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. She's kind of like, she said, you know, you'll be the king of the North. She's basically saying, I'll let you be the king of the North. Does that mean... Well, actually, she didn't say King of the North, did she? She said
No,
she said,
Warden or Lord of the North or something.
Well, no, but didn't she say King at one point? You would be the king?
Maybe. I can't remember specifically.
Because
exactly.
they do toy with the king thing when later on they're talking to, or is it? Yeah, later on they're talking to her advisor.
Yeah, Miss Sandy.
And they're like, King John, or is it King Snow? Like, he's playing around with the terms. So, yeah, she's basically saying, I'll let you be king.
Yeah.
Is that hinting at the fact that there might be some marriage here?
I mean, maybe. I mean...
Can you marry your aunt? Nick?
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Anything goes in Westeros at this point. Jamie and Cersei, brother and sister.
That would be powerful.
Yeah.
If he married the queen,
yeah,
I'm all for that. Yeah, marrying the queen, I think, would solve a lot of problems.
It would solve a lot of problems for him. It would get a little awkward when Bran finally meets up with Jon. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, that's supposed to be your aunt. And he'd be like, ooh, weird.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that
Neither
yet.
of them know that.
Neither of them have any idea at this
point. Do you think
point.
it's possible that they'll head that way and then we'll find out and go, ooh?
Oh, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. I feel like at some point, Jon's going to find out his true heritage. Because, like, otherwise, like, why even reveal it?
Right.
You know, it's got to come up at some point.
Right.
Or maybe it's just like, we want to make the audience uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones does like to make people feel uncomfortable. So, I mean, yeah, that would not be totally out of character for this show. So,
let's talk about Arya. She finally makes it back to Winterfell. Yes. She gets to the Winterfell gate, and what happens, Nick?
It opens.
It's always open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But who keeps you from just walking right in?
The guard.
Right,
yes.
The guards do. They were a little problematic there.
Yeah.
I guess you shouldn't hire such dumb guards to guard
Yeah,
your door.
they were both pretty dopey. There were almost like Three Stooges act going on there.
Does it? Bit. I mean, they acted like it was an everyday occurrence that people pretend to be a Stark.
Right.
I don't think every day you pretend to be a Stark, because I think that would be a punishable offense, right? So I feel like if someone comes to the door and they're like, I'm Arya Stark, you might go, oh, okay, well, let me just check my paperwork, you know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, get the hell out of here, girl.
Maybe just go and check in with someone. Like, hey, so, has anyone here actually seen Arya Stark before? Maybe you could confirm for us whether or not this is her or not.
Right. I mean, I don't think you can get your head chopped off for checking.
Right. I mean,
plus, wouldn't the word have gone out? I'm expecting my sister, maybe, so don't turn her away.
Well, they did say that like everyone seemed to think she was dead, but I don't know that
Sansa didn't act so surprised.
She didn't, but like, they seemed to think so. Right. I don't know where the disconnect is there between Sansa and her people, but everyone seemed to think she was dead for some reason.
So, what did you think about the reunion between Arya and Sansa?
I thought it was very emotional.
Yeah, there wasn't as much. I mean, they literally haven't seen each other for years.
Yeah, right? This is an interesting one because they didn't have a great relationship when they last saw each other. I mean, Sansa and Arya kind of hated each other a little bit. I mean,
but that's big sister, little sister.
I know.
I feel like that's under the bridge when you finally have both survived, horrible things for years.
I mean, they definitely seem like they have a connection in their shared kind of like story of trials and tribulations that they've both been through. But there is a kind of a distance there where like I'm not sure what that is about.
I didn't feel the sisterness going on there, and I feel like you need each other, people.
I don't know, maybe they both have just been through too much to be able to like feel that way or that easily anymore. Maybe they're just something inside them has been kind of killed, by what they've been through. So
I don't know. Then there was another reunion, Nick. Who was that with? It was Arya and who else?
Edward, no.
Because she has a brother who's up at Winterfell.
Well, I'm gonna guess that it's brother then.
you nailed it.
You nailed it. You're good. So Arya and Bran get back together, and again, not quite a warm, fuzzy reunion because Bran is now
he's basically just full on Three-Eyed Raven mode. Yeah, he's just kind of like he just has seen too much, and like it just like he said, or like we had that scene with Mira Reed when she leaves, and he's kind of acting cold to her,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, you know, like, oh, thank you for helping me.
I
And she's
felt
like,
really bad for her.
yeah, after everything you've been through, and then she had this really poignant line of like, you died back in that cave, basically
Yeah.
when the Three-Eyed Raven kind of uploaded all his
Right.
information into him. It's like he kind of died right there.
And it was sad. I mean, she reminded him, like, my brother died for you,
Yeah,
too.
Hodor died for you.
Hodor died,
I
yeah.
almost died for you.
Right. And all I get is a thank you.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I'm sorry, but like I can remember what it was like to be Brandon Stark, but I can also remember all this other stuff now.
Yeah.
And so Brandon Stark doesn't really matter to me anymore.
Yeah. And then the scene with Littlefinger, I was trying to understand what the significance of getting the dagger was all about.
Yeah, I feel like this was Littlefinger trying to do his Littlefinger thing of being like, ooh, I'm going to offer you this gift, and like, look, I'm thinking of you, and I'm here to protect you. And then, you know, I love how in that scene how Brandon turns it on him. You know, Littlefinger's saying like, oh, it's just a world of chaos, you know, and then Brandon says the thing that Littlefinger himself said is like, chaos is a ladder that you use to climb, you know?
Right.
And then Littlefinger has that moment of recognition where he knows that he knows somehow, and then kind of just bows out like, okay, well, gotta go. Nice seeing you,
Right, because
Brandon.
Bran has seen...
Brand is on to him.
Yeah, and he's probably seen... We haven't seen everything that Brandon's seen, but
Yeah.
he must
definitely remembers this that happened with Littlefinger.
So, right. So, I mean, he might know that Littlefinger was behind certain things.
Yeah, like the death of his father, and yeah.
Yeah. So then he gives the dagger to who?
Wait, so who's giving the dagger?
Brandon.
Brandon.
He's got
Gives
the
it to
dagger.
Arya.
Yes.
Wow, very good,
Nicely
Nick.
done, Nick. There you
Nice.
go. Context clues.
And I love that fight scene, the practice fight scene between Arya and
Brienne. Yeah,
Brienne.
that was a lot of fun. I was kind of like, oh wow, Arya's a badass now.
Yeah.
Like the last time we really saw her fight, she was kind of getting her butt kicked by the waif there when she was trying to escape Bravos. You know, when she got stabbed in the gut and
Right.
by the faceless woman there. So she's come a long way because she gave Brienne quite a run for her money, and she's known as being like one of the best sword people in all of Westeros.
I was a little scared there because normally when you're fighting just sparring,
Yeah.
you know, when Brent and I spar,
Exactly.
we use, blunt weapons.
Yeah.
But in this case, like,
They're just
Brienne
using
was like
straight up-
swiping right for her head.
She
and
was
it-
getting pissed too,
Yeah.
because like the first few sparring rounds, Arya handed her hat, you know. So that was exciting because see how Arya is gonna wreak some havoc later on.
Why wasn't Sansa excited for her watching from the balcony?
I don't know. That was kind of a weird scene to me.
Wouldn't you be proud of your sister kicking butt?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she just kind of sees like what she's become, which is this killer. I mean, which on the one hand, I mean, you know, she's been through so much, so you can kind of understand why she got there. I thought that was kind of weird, but I feel like maybe she kind of sees who she's become. And I mean, she was just an innocent little girl before that, and now she's just kind of like
Oh, do you think that's what it
ruthless
was?
killer. So maybe there's some kind of like, I don't know, sadness that this is who her sister is now. You know, maybe it's hard for her to see that. You know.
And then the same thing, they have Littlefinger give that little nod to them and walk away. Like, I don't know what that
I'm having a hard time remembering whether or not he's on Arya's list or not. And I think he might
I think
be.
he might be.
Yeah, because
Yes.
when Sansa says Littlefinger is here and Arya reacts like, what? He's here? Like I think there's this look there. Littlefinger is doing his political thing of being like, oh, you know, my lady or whatever. But I think Arya is looking at him like,
You're
I'm
next.
gonna get you. Yeah.
Yeah, because she says most of the people on her list are dead already.
Yeah.
Now, Brianna was sworn to protect both the Stark daughters.
Right. Yes.
Arya seemed to know that. I can't remember how she knew that.
Well, she encountered her when she was with the Hound. I don't know if you remember. That's how
Right,
the Hound
the
originally
fight.
they had that big blowout battle,
Right.
and then that was because she was trying to basically rescue Arya from the Hound.
Oh, that's right. She said, "Come with me," and Arya refused.
Right, and then she kind of left and went on her own.
But Brianna's not on her list.
No,
Okay.
she isn't.
But she felt like she had let down the Mrs. Stark.
Yes.
Because she hadn't watched after Arya, and that's why when Arya winds up at Winterfell safely,
Yeah.
she is like relieved. Like,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
She even takes the compliment, which was
Yeah, she does. I enjoyed seeing the little bit that we got in the battle scene with Tyrion being there and kind of seeing his brother go into action there. And
Oh,
he's just
yes.
like, oh God, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, stupid. Yeah.
You can kind of see in Tyrion, I'm curious that he's like not entirely thrilled. Like he's on Daenerys' side, but you can see there's some conflict there in his eyes when he sees the havoc that's being wreaked on his brother and his brother's army. You can tell he's not like happy to see them being
Right.
defeated.
Well, and we even get this from in the scene with Daenerys and Jon Snow,
Yeah.
and he's giving her advice, and she turns on him, and she's basically like, the advice you've given me so far has helped your family more
Right.
than anything else.
Right, so I'm just kind of curious what's going to happen with Tyrion now, because there's definitely, he's conflicted right now, and
Yeah.
he's not in the best standing with Daenerys anymore, so I just wonder, are we going to, maybe not even, maybe, I don't know if a double cross, or if he's going to just kind of being exiled and then end up back in King's Landing somehow? I don't know. I'm curious to see where Tyrion goes from here.
On battle scenes, where would you rate this, Nick? From all of the Game of Thrones battle scenes, 1 being a crappy little fight to 5 being an all-out, battle.
I go 4.5.
Ooh, quite, yeah. I mean, this was, it must be hard for them on the production team to decide.
stuff,
yeah. Like how much are we going to make it, because this was a awesome battle with the dragon. And it was some amazing, really close down in the trenches scenes, which,
Yeah.
with, what's his name? Jamie's hand. there.
Yes.
Really cool scenes, I thought, when they do that. They did it before with Jon Snow.
Yeah, the Battle of the Bastards, right.
Where they give us, overview scenes, which are cool, and then they give you right down in the trenches with the dragon flying over your head. Like,
Yeah, just people
really,
running by on fire and stuff.
and
he's trying to get
Dothraki
away.
attacking you and slitting
chasing
people.
after you on their swords, and they're too
Yeah.
it was intense.
What did you feel about attacking the horse legs the way that I think it was the Dothraki?
Yeah,
right?
the Dothraki took out Bronn's
Is that how
horse
you would
leg.
do it?
I mean, it's effective, but it's kind of a cheap shot. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, the Dothraki are horse-based people, and then they attack your horse. That just seemed not cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a low blow.
yeah.
That is a low blow.
Don't chop off the horse's legs. He didn't do anything wrong.
Just
I thought PETA should have just called time out, battle's over.
Battle's over. Yeah, right.
Can't attack dragons or horses.
I gotta say this might be my favorite battle they've done on Game of Thrones so
really?
far, because it was just so intense and so lopsided too that I was just kind of stressed out watching it, because I was like, oh my god, these guys are getting just burnt alive,
Yeah,
and there's
armored-
like nothing they can do. They even tried volleying a bunch of arrows at it, and they just like bounced off.
That
Like,
was great.
Like it's like watching like a medieval army take on like an Abrams tank or something. It's like, what are they supposed to do to this thing? It's
Right.
just like, oh wow, it was just crazy to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, if they hadn't had the scorpion there, there would have been nothing at all they could have
Yeah,
done.
and then like they're trying to like get into formation and stuff, and the Dothraki are just like blowing right through them. They couldn't even hold the line at all.
Although I will say, without the dragon to help open up the line, it might have gone a little differently.
This is true. But I mean, when you get the 1-2 punch of a
Yeah.
crazy Dothraki horde
And a dragon.
and a dragon, who stands?
And that's just one dragon.
That's
Imagine
one out
if
of
she
3.
had-
Yeah.
Now, did she have to ride the dragon? I mean, is she giving him commands and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, she keeps saying, Dracarys, and then it blows the fire or whatever. So I guess so.
Okay.
But I don't know about the other two. The other two seem to kind of just do what they want,
Right.
So maybe that's why she left them behind, because they're
not
not
the most
they're not as
useful.
well trained
They
yet.
might attack the wrong people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They got some like Dothraki guys back there trying to tame them.
I just love it because it shows no one's seen a dragon in thousands of years, so
Yeah.
they have no idea how to fight one. Other than that scorpion, but like your arrows aren't going to work. Getting into formation and getting cooked in your armor, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's just sitting there watching all his men bake. So predictions for the next episode, Nick?
I think they're going to, they're going to try and salvage the scorpion, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Or at least rebuild it, right? They're going to rebuild it. They're going to try and figure out how to make it better, because now they realize that there's this
works.
big threat and that it kind of worked. So they just need to make it a little more powerful, and then they can probably
Right.
do it.
Better aim.
Maybe a dedicated scorpion attack, guy who's
Maybe more than one.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good idea.
Good
Like,
too.
Yeah.
because then it'll like burn one of them, and they'll be like, "Ha, gotcha!"
Yeah.
And then whoever fell in the river is gonna come out most likely.
Jamie. Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
In the next
Yeah, I
episode,
think
he's
he's-
out.
yeah.
Okay, because I think it's going to be an episode or two before we see him again, and he's going to be considered lost, and that's going to create Cersei to lose faith and blah blah blah. Like I think something
I
like
agree
that's
with you
going to happen.
there.
Maybe she'll even agree to marry the what's his name?
Euron Greyjoy.
Euron Greyjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be like, "Oh, your brother's not here now," kind of thing. So I don't know. That's my prediction. What do you think, Brent?
Well, I did see the next week on episode, so I do kind of have an
You
idea.
can't do that.
I know. I just watched the whole thing on HBO now. So I think we're getting White Walker stuff next week.
Ooh,
we're getting some
they're
stuff at the
finally
wall.
making it?
But we're finally getting some stuff up there at the wall, and I think because of that, we're gonna get the Hound and the
we've been waiting
the
for the
Brotherhood of No
Hound.
Banners, because that's where they were heading.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna get some pretty interesting stuff there with those
Nice.
guys. So
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to that.
All right, put your predictions down below. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Now You Know Movie Show Game of Thrones edition.
Yeah.